Some fake friends are so good at pretending that you could know them for years and still never realize they're using you. They laugh with you, defend you, know your secrets, and yet somehow you keep leaving the friendship feeling smaller than when you walked in. That feeling matters. Because fake friendship usually doesn't begin with betrayal. It begins with tiny patterns you keep making excuses for. And the first one is probably happening more often than you think. Number 1. They only show up when they need something. Notice the timing. They suddenly text when they need a favor, call when they need advice, remember you when they need money, a ride, help, or a connection. But when you're the one having a terrible day, silence. And here's the test. Stop being useful for a while. Don't offer favors, don't solve their problems, don't chase them. Then watch what happens. Because if the friendship disappears the moment your usefulness does, you may have just discovered what the friendship was really built on. But that's not even the most subtle sign. Number 2, they secretly compete with you. You tell them you got a promotion, and instead of celebrating, they immediately mention someone who did better. You buy something you love, and they point out what's wrong with it. You accomplish something difficult, and suddenly it was easy, lucky, or not that impressive. They might even smile while doing it, which makes it harder to recognize. But pay attention to how you feel after telling them good news. Do you feel celebrated or strangely embarrassed for being excited? That reaction can tell you a lot. And now it gets more personal. Number 3, they turn your insecurities into jokes. Relax, I'm just kidding. Maybe. But if the joke always targets your appearance, intelligence, money, relationships, failures, or something you've privately told them hurts you, that's different. Real friends can tease each other, but there's a difference between laughing with someone and making someone the joke. And here's the real test. Tell them it hurt. A caring friend may apologize or adjust. A fake friend often flips it back on you. You're too sensitive, you can't take a joke, or everyone was laughing. Their reaction may reveal more than the original joke. Number 4, they disappear when you start winning. This one is easy to miss because nobody announces, "I'm jealous of you." Instead, their energy changes. When you're struggling, they're around. When you're confused, they have advice. But when you become confident, successful, healthier, or happier, suddenly they're distant. Your good news gets a weak response, your excitement gets interrupted, the conversation somehow becomes about them. And if someone only feels comfortable when you're below them, that isn't support. It's insecurity wearing a friendship costume. Number 5, they use your secrets when they're angry. You trusted them with something vulnerable, something you said privately because you believed it was safe. Then an argument happens, and suddenly that exact weakness gets thrown back at you. That moment changes everything. Because disagreement is normal in friendship. Weaponizing someone's vulnerability is something else. A friend can be angry with you without exposing the parts of you they promised to protect. But there's another sign that might be even more dangerous. Number 6, they constantly talk about other people behind their back. They tell you other people's secrets. They mock their friends after they leave. They reveal private conversations like they're collecting entertainment. And you might think, but they only do it with other people. Ask yourself, why would you be the exception? If someone treats other people's private lives like gossip material, eventually your story could become their story too. And finally, the sign that hurts the most. Number 7, they disappear when you genuinely need them. You were there when they were falling apart. You answered the late-night calls. You listened to the same problem for the 10th time. You showed up. Then, one day, you're the one struggling. You call, nothing. You text, nothing. Maybe they eventually respond with some excuse, but somehow they always seem unavailable when you need them most. And that's when you may realize the friendship was never balanced. You weren't their friend in the way you thought. You were their listener, their fixer, their backup plan, their source of attention, their convenient person. And before you decide someone is fake, remember this. One bad moment doesn't define a friendship. A pattern does. People get busy. People make mistakes. People say stupid things. The important question is what happens repeatedly and what happens after you communicate your feelings. Because there's one final clue nobody talks about. Sometimes you don't recognize a fake friendship by how bad you feel around the person. You recognize it by how peaceful you feel after you stop chasing them. Suddenly, you're not checking your phone every 5 minutes. You're not wondering why they're ignoring you. You're not trying to impress them. You're not walking on eggshells. You're just calm. And that might be the biggest lesson of all. A healthy friendship shouldn't constantly make you question your worth. You shouldn't have to compete for basic respect. You shouldn't have to earn someone's kindness by being useful. So don't obsess over finding fake friends. Instead, watch the patterns. Watch who celebrates you, who respects your boundaries, who protects your secrets, and who shows up when there's nothing to gain. Because sometimes losing a fake friend doesn't mean you lost someone important. Sometimes it means you finally stopped losing yourself.